Okay, I feel like I need to give y'all an explanation right away. So, why? Why did I decide to redesign Ratatoing of all things? Well, I thought of this idea as a joke because I've watched several redesign videos and they're almost always about the same stuff, you know? Wings Club, Monster High, Westria Girl, Strawberry Shortcake, Has Been Hotel, Miraculous Ladybug. And I was like, you know what? I'm not like the other girls. If I'm gonna do a video like that, I'm gonna redesign, Ratatoing. Yeah, that god-awful Ratatouille knockoff that every YouTuber and their mom has made a video on. But obviously, that's just a joke. I mean, I made a video redesigning the Smurfs. Like, I cannot go lower than that. So I laughed it off, you know, haha, silly idea. But then, it never left my head. So I decided to do it. And that's why we're here today. But after watching the movie, I realized that the character designs are not the biggest problem with it. And let's just say that I ended up doing a bit more than just redesigning. To explain why to those who have not seen it, I'm gonna recap the movie. And if you have seen it, let's relive the trauma. So Marcell, Carol, and Greg, and also Octavio, run a restaurant called Ratatoing in a city called This City. I'm dead serious, that's what the movie called it.
The marvelous city. That's where our story takes place, in the heart of this city, frequented by the most notable residents of the city.
Anyways, Ratatoing's business is booming. They got a lot of customers. But oh no, turns out some of them are the aristocrats, owners of a rival restaurant, trying to steal Ratatoing's secrets. One old lady rat straight up asked Marcell to reveal the secret to every dish.
What is the secret of the great flavor in every one of the dishes you prepare?
Lady, can't you be a bit more subtle? And then we found out that their secret is actually a tunnel that leads to a human restaurant where they steal fresh ingredients from them. But an aristocrat lady with a flat-ass bob follows them secretly and reveals their secrets to her friends, and they plan to sabotage Ratatoing by revealing themselves to the humans so that they would set up rat traps. Okay, but how did they reveal themselves to the humans? Well, like this. But the plan somehow worked and the humans set up traps and also a cat. A cat whose running animation looks like a fever dream. So Ratatoing can no longer steal food. But then the aristocrats realize that the sabotage doesn't help their restaurant either. So they want to steal the human ingredients themselves too. But things go wrong. Marcell was chased by the cat and Carol and Greg was threatened by the aristocrats' gentleman with toothpicks. But plot twist, Marcell has befriended the cat, whose name is Paolo, by offering him some snacks. In the end, Paolo is seen eating at Ratatoing, and we found out that the humans removed the traps because Paolo caught the two aristocrats gentlemen and gave them to the humans. And do you know what happened to them? They were sent to a lab.
Those rats of ours were sent to an out-of-town laboratory. Oh.
Jesus Christ, I did not expect Ratatoing to be this dark. What the fuck? Other than that, the story is just a whole lot of nothing, which is impressive considering how many insane things happen in the movie. There are no character arcs, no theme, no message. Well, we will get into that more later. For now, let's redesign the characters. So, enough with the pepperoni, let's get into it. Let's start with Marcell, the main character. His original design is a blue rat. And that's it. He's just a blue rat. Nothing to show that he's a chef, nothing to show his personality, he's just a blue, naked rat. His personality is pretty lacking as well, to be honest. For a main character, he is sure boring as hell. So for my redesign, I of course put him in a chef outfit. The bottom part there is supposed to be an apron, but it kinda looks like a skirt. You know what? Sure, that works too, I guess. And for his personality, I decided to make him shy. In the movie, there's a scene where Marcell said,
The clients at table 1 who want to talk to you.
Oh, please! You know how much I dislike facing customers!
So I took that and turned it into one of his traits. Despite the popularity of the restaurant and his cooking, Marcell believes that he's not worthy of all the praise. His insecurity will play a big part later. For now, let's move on to the next character. Greg is one of the staff at Ratatoing, and his catchphrase is
Precisely!
And fun fact, he is voiced by Dr. Eggman's voice actor. His original design is a green rat, but he's big. That's it. To be honest, I don't even know what his role in Ratatoing is. Carol and Octavio are servers. Is Greg a server too? He was shown preparing a chocolate ice cream order, so is he another chef? Well, the movie didn't make it clear, so I decided to make him the chef assistant. So Marcel is the head chef and Greg helps him around in the kitchen. And as for his personality, I think I'm gonna keep him how he is. He is clumsy and goofy. He's definitely the comic relief of the group. In my head, I'm picturing him kind of like Zeus from Gravity Falls for some reason. You know, a bit bumbly and clumsy, but warm and lovable. And of course, we cannot get rid of his catchphrase.
Precisely!
Next is Carol. She is the server in Ratatoing, and funnily enough, she was voiced by the same VA as Amy Rose. So for some miraculous reason, they got two Sonic VAs to be in this movie. Anyways, Carol's design is interesting to say the least. She is a pink rat with curvilineous body and red hair. This is one of my biggest pet peeve when it comes to character design, when the male characters are all bald, but the female characters have full heads of hair. Anyways, her personality is flirty. Other than that, she's just as boring as Marcel and pretty much everyone else. Except for Greg, he is cool.
Precisely!
So for my redesign, I decided to put her in an 80s style server outfit. It's a generic design choice, but I mean she's a server, what else could she wear? And as for her personality, I'm turning her into someone who's passionate about ratatouille. The success of it is her pride, proving that pests can succeed too. What the fuck is pest, you ask? Well, we will get into that more later. For now, let's see the final lineup of my Ratatoing crew redesign. Here they are so adorable. I decided to make the sort of plate pattern as a constant in all their designs to really show that they are working as a team. I'm not sure if I truly like it, but for now, it is what I'm going with. Also, I decided to get rid of Octavio. He serves practically no purpose in the story. His only main contribution is he forgot to lock the door, which allowed the aristocrats to sneak in. But I feel like that could have been something that Greg do, so Octavio is just redundant now. Goodbye. Speaking of redundant characters, let's move on to the villains. Wait, before that, I have an announcement to make. My 1-year anniversary on YouTube is around the corner, so to celebrate, I am hosting a Draw This in Your Style contest. If you're interested, pause to read or screenshot the details, and I can't wait to see your submission. Okay, let's get back to the video. So in the movie, there are 4 aristocrats. I think their names are Oscar, Maria, Carlos, and I can't remember the fuck-ass Bob lady's name. But like, I'm just wondering, why? Why are there 4 of them? They talk over each other while saying a whole lot of nothing. The scene where they're trying to figure out Ratatouille's secret is so painful to watch. There are just too many of them, and it's pointless. So I'm cutting them down to 2, Maria and Oscar. They are an aristocratic rich couple who has the monopoly over multiple industries in their city, including food industry. So when Ratatouille's business started to bloom, they feel that their top position is threatened and scheme to take Ratatouille down. So I dressed them in fancy clothing, and unlike the other rats, they wear pants and shoes. And I think that distinction is quite important to show their status. Anyways, let's move on to the final character. So Paolo is the cat with nightmare fuel running animation. And to be honest, he's actually kinda cute. Ignoring the running animation, I think he's really adorable. I feel like he doesn't really look like a cat though. His patterns are tiger-ish, and his shape kinda makes him look like an off-brand Pokemon. And his personality is... he's the cat. That's it. He doesn't even speak. So for my version, I decided to make him a cop. I promise this will make sense in another minute or so. For now, just know that he's a cop. I gave him a cop outfit, and I made him an orange cat because orange cats are the ultimate agents of chaos. And with that, let's take a look at the antagonist. Here they are. To be honest, I'm not entirely sold on Maria's color. Oscar is fine, I guess, but I love Paolo though. He's so cute. So at this point, I've not only redesigned the characters, I've also given them personality and motivations, and I even made drastic changes for some of them. This doesn't even feel like Ratatouille anymore. Which is probably why I've spent this entire video saying I'll get into that more later. Because I did not just redesign Ratatoing, I rewrote the whole thing as well. Yeah, this is what I decided to do with my free will. So, with all that being said, I present to you Ratatoing Rewritten. The story takes place in a city. This city. But the city is divided into the highland and the valley. The highland residents are known as the propers. Amongst them are cats, dogs, bunnies, and other clean animals. While the valley residents are known as the pests. Amongst them are cats, raccoons, crows, and other dirty animals. There are no humans in the story, by the way. It's a fully anthro world, like Zootopia. The propers living above ground are privileged and have access to fresh food, clean markets, and wealth, while the pests who live in the valley under them only have access to the propers' waste. The propers view the pests as dirty scavengers who are incapable of being refined like them. However, among the pests there is one wealthy couple known as the aristocrats, Oscar and Maria. Through generational wealth, their family have monopoly over all the industries in the valley. They operate a restaurant where they serve crappy slop meals at a high price. But since they got a hold on all the food ingredients and supplies, the valley animals have no other choice besides garbage in the waste bin, so they still go to the aristocrats for food. The valley animals also view the aristocrats as successful underdogs who defeat all odds. They are proof that even pests can make it, so they want to support them. Working at the aristocrats restaurant is Marcell. He's a talented, great chef but stuck making slop meals, and he just yearned to make actual good food for the valley animals. He sometimes steals fresh ingredients from the restaurant to cook nice meals for his friends Carol and Greg. Carol constantly tells Marcel that he should open his own restaurant instead of working for the aristocrats, who she deeply hates. Unlike all the other pests, she sees them as selfish, rich animals who only care about themselves. But Marcel always shuts down that idea for a personal reason that he never shared. And of course, they also have no access to fresh ingredients. But one day, Carol discovers a hidden abandoned tunnel that leads into a supermarket up in the highland. Fresh ingredients are accessible to them now, so the dream of opening a restaurant is possible. But Marcel refuses again, and he finally reveals that he's scared of doing it because he believes that there's no way a pest like him can succeed. He also doesn't want to operate a business that's based on thievery. But at work, the aristocrats tell Marcel to cut down on portions and ingredients, while they at the same time are planning to significantly raise the price of the meals. So Marcel realizes that by working for the aristocrats, he's already participating in thievery anyway, and it pushes him to finally open his own restaurant, and he calls it Ratatoing. Using the stolen ingredients from the Highland supermarket, Marcel, Carol, and Greg starts operating the restaurant. It immediately gains traction and becomes a sensation. The food has soul, tastes fresh, and pests feel a sense of respect when experiencing real meals instead of slops. Carol becomes passionate with Ratatoing because its success proves that other pests can succeed too, not just the aristocrats. The customers constantly praise Marcel's cooking, and some of them even request to see him. Marcel, despite the recognition and praise, still feels a sense of doubt in his heart. Seeing the success of Ratatoing, the aristocrats become jealous and suspicious. Meanwhile, up in the highland, their supermarkets report mysterious disappearances of fresh ingredients. This reached the ears of the head police, Paolo. He's heard rumors of a booming restaurant in the valley and becomes skeptical. There's no way pests can make food that good. The more popular the restaurant becomes, the more passionate Carol gets. She puts in extra hours and even suggests opening on Sundays. Every time she gets comments from customers saying they prefer Ratatoing over the aristocrats, she gets giddy and proud. The aristocrats, losing more and more customers to the Ratatoing, decide to investigate and deploy some dirty tactics to sabotage them, but all to no avail. One night, while the Ratatoing is on their stealing mission, they can hear police coming. So in a panic, they fled. But Marcel was spotted by Paolo. He managed to escape the cop, but during the chase, he hears Paolo yelling, "You pests do not belong up here." Those words hurt Marcel and reinforces his self-doubt. A customer expresses to Carol they also dream of opening a restaurant just like the Ratatoing one day, and Carol secretly feels threatened. Unfortunately, on another stealing mission, Greg forgot to lock the door of the restaurant. The aristocrats found a way inside and eventually found the secret tunnel, and they bust the Ratatoing and threatens to expose them. After the expose by the aristocrats, the valley people felt betrayed. They thought that Ratatoing was an honest business that shows how pets can make it too, but it was all built on a lie. They reluctantly returned to eat at the aristocrats. Marcell feels defeated. His fear turns out to be true, but Carol didn't give up. She drags the boys along on another mission. They keep arguing in the secret tunnel. Marcell eventually yells at Carol, calling out how she views Ratatoing as her personal pride and not a way to give the other pets the respect that they deserve. He also says that she is just as selfish as the aristocrats, and Carol was silenced. But they didn't realize that their argument was heard by Paolo, who tracked their voice and made his way there too. They hid in their restaurants, and Paolo berates the Ratatoing, saying how they stole the Pauper's foods and turned them into filth, and how pets can never do anything good. Paolo's words eventually triggers Marcell's breaking point. He leaves his hiding spot to stand up to Paolo. He gives Paolo a piece of his mind and defends the pets. Finally, he finds the bravery to speak up and defend himself. Marcell then persuades Paolo to taste his food. Paolo refuses at first, but then reluctantly tastes it. Upon the first bite, he is transported to his childhood, as the food reminds him of his mother's cooking. Yeah, I'm also stealing from Ratatouille. Paolo realizes that he's wrong all this time and apologizes. He tells them that he will supply them with fresh ingredients in exchange of being allowed to eat there for free. Meanwhile, the valley animals return to the aristocrat's restaurant. The quality of food there has declined even more, since Maria is doing the cooking now. But since she's doing the labor, she increased the price even more. One customer is tired and exclaims that he misses eating at the Ratatoing. Oscar points out that if they support Ratatoing, then they're supporting thievery. But another customer replies by supporting the aristocrats, the customers are the ones being thieved. So they left for Ratatoing. Upon seeing a flood of customers, Marcell light up, and Ratatoing is back in business. Paolo introduces Ratatoing's food to the other Paupers, and slowly more of them go to dine at Ratatoing. But eventually, the Paupers decide to open the gate. The valley and the highland animals are now free to interact without judgment. Carol finds joy in serving food to everyone. The aristocrats are slowly losing their business since the valley animals now can go to the highland for business, and Marcell can finally see that a pet like him can succeed too. Alright, so that is the story that I came up with. Is it perfect? No. Is it better than the original Ratatoing? You be the judge of that. I'm not like a professional writer or anything, so I'm pretty sure there's a lot of flaws in my story. I just decided to do this for fun, you know? If you have any thoughts or critiques or recommendations, please let me know down below. If you want to watch me redesign the Smurfs, you can check it out here. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching till the end. Take care and I'll see you next time. Toodles!